Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Please quickly join the session and let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Hello, everyone. Am I audible? Hi, Siddharth. Good afternoon. Nirav, good afternoon. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to the session today. How are you all doing? I'm just waiting for the others to join quickly. Please call your friends. We are going to have a very exciting conversation on Snap. We are just a few days away. The countdown has begun, and as you can see, we are going to have a very interactive session on general English, and we'll talk about why general English is so important, is so crucial in the SNAP exam. Jogi, hi Jogi, good afternoon. All the best, Nirav, studying for SNAP. It is the last round of preparation becomes crucial. You can just revise through your work and see. Try to iron out the discrepancies if there are any. Try to be absolutely in the positive frame of mind. Remember, SNAP is not going to be as tricky as CAT. CAT was quite uphill, as you might have seen. Devin, good afternoon, dear. Good afternoon. Kelly, good afternoon. I hope you all are doing well. Okay, so last minute preparation on SNAP and why general English is so important. So we are going to talk about the general English section of SNAP, and this is going to be the key differentiator. Mark my words, this is going to be the key differentiator, right? So without any further ado, let us start the discussion. कुछ ही दिनों की बात है, and then you will be through with SNAP as well. First lot is just a couple of days away. So I have tried to divide my session into three important segments. We'll talk about what all do you have to study and prepare for as far as general English is concerned. We'll also talk about the importance of the general English section and the key points to remember. And I hope today's conversation and discussion will help you get the maximum percentile in SNAP 21. I'm talking about the first lot. So those who are enrolled and those who are for slot number 2 and 3, this session is going to be equally important for you. So stay through, sit tight, and we are going to start the discussion. I am Pradip Sengupta, your verbal ability mentor and friend. So here we go. This is what we are going to start the discussion with, and it is going to be a game of speed, guys, right? You have to speed on, you have to skip through the session, and you will not have time. Okay. Nehu, you can take the BYJU'S exam prep mock snap, and it is going to be, an eye opener for you. Please try and follow us. Please try to take the snap. The link and is there in the description box. Please download the app and see and take as many mocks as possible. Okay, so it's a game of the fast and the furious. Don't be furious, but be fast. Okay, 1 hour and it'll be a game changer. So if you can just look at the number of questions, just 15 of them, and you just have 15 minutes, it is not a good enough time to prove how good or bad we are in the verbal section, right? And that is why if you look at the questions will be such that will help you skip through the first area in no time. That is why the questions are going to be easier. And remember, the problem is, easier the question, the more confusion it creates. Okay, so please try to hold your nerve and be fast and confident. Okay, we know that the scheme is +1 and minus 0.25, so it is a make or break situation for us. Okay, we know how CAT has gone, we know how we have fared in CAT, and this is one exam, a chance of a lifetime, that will help you get into the top-notch colleges that SNAP has to offer. Okay. Questions तो काफी आसान होते हैं. This is Abhishek is asking me, but silly mistakes हो जाते हैं. I absolutely agree with you. Silly mistakes हो जाते हैं. To err is human, right? We all are human beings. ताकि silly mistakes ना हो, इसके लिए it is important that you brush up all your skills that you have learned so far. Okay, all the concepts that we have learned. Remember, the snap questions is not as difficult as CAT, right? And the paper pattern is more or less going to be the same like it was last year, 2020, right? And the breather is there is not going to be an RC passage. Of course, this is what I am predicting. Last year there was no RC passage. Is saal agar aa bhi gaya, I don't think there will be one, but you cannot rule it out. One odd passage wo de sakte hain. So if not, the rest of the questions are going to be the same. So 15 questions we don't have time, and 15 minutes, right? Before even you wink your eyes, 15 minutes will be over. So 1 hour, right? You have to be very judicious, right? With your time. Be very judicious with your time. Spend your time wisely. Okay, spend time very wisely. That is my first mantra to you. Please spend your time very wisely. Time is going to be of essence in such an exam like snap, where you don't have time. You have to manage your time properly. You have to see that if there are 15 questions, right, how much time are you going to devote in answering these 15 questions? So I call it, there is a theory which I always tell my students to follow, the AHT per question, right? The AHT per question, I mean the average handling time per question. Okay, this is something which you will understand when you practice mocks every day, right? 1 hour, how judiciously you can spend these 1 hour, right? How do you spend time on each question? What is the AHT of each question? That needs to be calculated and found out. Okay, yes, how to tackle vocab questions, synonym and antonym. There is no new story that I have to tell you today. You have to practice the past questions which snap has asked on synonym and antonym. Do not do anything new. Okay, please solve as many mocks as possible. Okay, the questions are going to be predictable. It is not going to be out of the clutter, so you need not worry. Okay, type of question, difficulty level, 15 minute mein kya difficulty check karenge, right? That is one thing which you have to keep in mind, right? It is going to be easy. Number one, it is going to be, you have to be fast enough, you have to be quick enough to see through the questions, and please don't make silly mistakes, and see what is the average handling time that you maintain while answering each and every question. Okay, now why is general English so important? I have always been telling you all that it is going to be the key differentiator. You might have noticed we focus a lot on logical reasoning and quants. Yes, and logical reasoning is something which has to be seriously dealt with, right? We cannot take logical reasoning easily. 25 questions, it is going to be, very crucial for you. But if you look at the cutoffs, this is my prediction. If you talk about SIBM, Pune and Bangalore, SIIB, SCMHRD and all, right? SIUM, NASIC, this is the average cutoffs that we are expecting, right? And English is going to be a make or break situation this year. And this, you have to factor in English. If you get the maximum questions right in English, that is going to be a key differentiator in your overall percentile. So a good general English score is essential to top percentile. Always remember that. Okay. Good score, we will talk about good score for 96 to 97 percentile in the later slides. Ansh, please stay with me. This is very important question and I would like you to answer. I'd like to answer this question for you once I have discussed a couple of points, quick points with you people. So this overall percentile, if you look at the cutoffs, right, and it is going to be somewhere near, right? It is going to be somewhere near what we are predicting from the BYJU'S exam prep platform. Okay, please share it with your friends. Ask your friends to join today's session. And if you like the session, please don't forget to press the like button, subscribe to our channel to get and press the bell icon for notification. Please do that. I always forget to tell my students to come and explore BYJU'S exam prep platform. Do that quickly. Okay, so a good GE score is essential. So 15 questions, right? Essentially, you should be in the bracket of 12 to 13 correct questions. All right. And when we talk about the approach, I always tell my students to follow the C approach. You see, right? How do you look at sea, right? And when it is stormy, the waves come splashing all over you. But at the same time, right, you have to be efficient enough to navigate through the sea. Okay, and accuracy is very important so that you don't lose direction. Your compass has to be working. Your compass must work. So speed is of essence. Snap efficiency should be absolutely, you have to be precise with the answering, and accuracy is the key. So follow these three things when it comes to the general English segment. Please be quick enough to answer the questions. People have been talking a lot about the business analytics area of SCMHRD, Abhishek, right? Although it is a bit, early to predict anything, but the reviews are quite good. If you are planning business analytics from SCMHRD, then definitely it is going to be, beneficial for you. That is my take, right? We just have to wait for the reviews, more reviews to come in. SCIT is a good college, but if you are getting a good percentile, Shadan, right, and there are better colleges available, SCIT should not be, it should not be in your top priorities, right? If I take you back to this slide, right, these are some of the colleges which you must focus right now. See, snap is not yet over, so why do we have to think that our percentile will be not up to the scratch, right? Get a good percentile and get into these colleges. SCIT, of course it is a good college, but compare your percentile. First of all, see where you land. We will try to get into these colleges. If not, SCIT is definitely there. Okay. Yes, Roshan, we are going to discuss few questions in this session as well. Don't you worry, right? We do not do any session without questions. So we are going to practice together. So please stay through. All right. So speed, efficiency, and accuracy is very important. Please see to it that you work on mocks. And speed comes when you take mocks. Efficiency comes when you take mocks. Accuracy comes when you take mocks. Okay. So between today and the D-Day, please take a few mocks on a regular basis to work on your speed, to work on your efficiency, and to work on your accuracy. Okay. Mocks are quintessential. Not only for your GE, from your GE point of view, the general English point of view, but from the point of view of your LR and quants practice as well. Okay. With that being said, let us see what are the areas which we have to focus on. I am not going to discuss anything new with you. This is something which you know yourself, right? So I have tried to deconstruct the general English section for you, starting with grammar, the basics of grammar, parts of speech questions. This is one area where you must parts of speech. You remember those fill in the blanks questions, match the following questions based on parts of speech. Subject verb agreement is another area that is asked in the spotting error questions, right? Verbs, narration, direct indirect speech, voice change in spotting the errors, fill in the blanks based on prepositions, and spotting the errors based on prepositions, conditionals, the if questions, the would rather questions, right? All these questions, conditionals, work on conditionals, and then error identification. All right. So this is a predictable area every year. Yes, Abhishek, you are absolutely right. This is one area where this has become the SNAP USP. This has become the key highlight of the SNAP examination. They are going to have questions based on these. I think this is what personally I think that SNAP should come before CAT, because they start with a very difficult paper and then they take you to something which is easy. So again, we see that we are going to make a comeback to grammar and technicalities of English, of the English language. We talk about parts of speech, subject verb agreement. This is something which SNAP, these are SNAP specifics. We focus on these areas, and these are the basics which you can learn yourself. There are so many books available, and most importantly, more than the fundamental, this is not the time for fundamental. Take some mocks instantly. Okay, use the BYJU'S exam prep app and start taking the mocks and solve such questions. Okay. Suraj, well, I can't comment on that, but definitely you can take the snap mocks from our BYJU'S exam prep app. They are far more up to the scratch, and that they will give you the latest the in trend that is going on as far as the snap exam is concerned. The question pattern is important, and you can start taking sessions, classes and mocks of on BYJU'S exam prep. All right. Talking about the general English section deconstruction vocabulary, root words, very important, right? You will find quite a few questions based on roots, questions based on analogy. We will do a few questions on analogy and antonym synonym spellings today, right? On spellings, antonym synonym, fill in the blanks, grammar based, idioms, and one word substitution. And one thing that we cannot miss is the para-jumble question, right? They are again going to be of key importance. We have seen para-jumble questions making a difference in CAT. We will see a few para-jumble questions in the SNAP exam as well. So please follow these areas and try to focus more on mocks. Practice makes a man perfect. So keep on practicing. Okay. These sections are the ones which cannot be ruled out while you practice for the SNAP GE section. All right. This has been repeated. I can change it to the next slide. Let us talk about the very first question. Let us take some question first of all, and we will be very quick with the question. Okay. Let us see how quickly we can answer the questions that I have taken from the previous year's SNAP question papers. Look at this particular question. It says pick up the appropriate analogy. Roshan, we can expect 15 questions this year as it was in the last year. 15 questions. I think you have missed out on my very first slide. We are going to expect 15 questions this year also, and that is why speed becomes quintessential. All right. The first question, analogy. What is the appropriate relationship between these two words? What is your answer? Okay. Birth and dirge. What is your answer? Okay. We will try to do a few questions very quickly so that you can get a fair idea as to what to expect in SNAP. All right. और ऐसे क्वेश्चन आपको लगातार प्रैक्टिस करते चले जाना है. Okay. So birth and dirge, what is the relationship? Can we have the answers quickly, very quickly? And please ask your friends to join the session. Okay. Analogy based question. एक नंबर के लिए खेल रहे हैं. We are playing for one mark question. Birth and dirge. Anybody? The options are sunset and sunrise, security check and arrival, marriage and alimony, welcome address and vote of thanks. What do you think should be the answer? Okay, here comes the answer. D, D, B, D, C. All right. Okay. All right. So let us look at the question. The question was birth and dirge. Let us see what is the relationship. Birth, we know what birth is. We all are born. So birth is the process of being born. And what is dirge? Dirge is a very negative word. All right. It means a funeral song. So don't you think it has the smell of death in it? It is quite morbid. Okay. While birth is very positive, and we are talking about something that happens after death. People mourn, people are sad, people express sorrow. Dirge is a funeral song. Similarly, if you see marriage, right? Alimony is the money paid to, the bride after the divorce, the wife after the divorce. Okay. Alimony is something which is very negative again. Right? Marriage is positive. Okay, it might result in divorce, that is the antonym, and the process that follows divorce is alimony. All right. Similarly, if birth results in death and the phenomenon that ensues is dirge, right? The process is dirge. In the same way, the antonym of marriage is divorce, and the process that follows is alimony. Okay, in that equation, birth and dirge is similar to marriage and alimony. C should be the answer. Sunset, sunrise, right? These are extreme opposites, but we are talking about opposite and the process of opposite. All right. Security check happens at the time of arrival. Although the relationship is okay, but there is no connect between B and the main question. So B is out, A is out. D talks about welcome address and vote of thanks. Again, there is no analogy. You cannot establish a relationship between D and the main question, stem, birth, and dirge. So in that case, D is also out. The answer should have been C, marriage and alimony. See, the questions are not tough at all, but they are tricky. Easy? Yes, you just have to focus, right? It should be, Abhishek says it should be D because the scenario is exactly opposite. See, D talks about welcome address and vote of thanks. We are talking about the process, right? Birth, death, and the process is dirge. Marriage, opposite is, divorce, and the process is alimony. So going by those circumstances and situation, C should have been the best answer, Abhishek. I hope that answers the question. All right. Can we look at one more question, guys? Okay. So according to me, it should be C. Now look at this one, right? A fill in the blanks question, guys. The repetition of messages or the use of superfluous expressions is called, if any message is repeated or if any expression is superfluous, right? Repeated, right? What is the word? Now this question is based on figure of speech. It is a figure of speech question. Okay. Yes, Roshan, in the previous question, option 3 gives you the opposite, but we are talking about the process. If you look at the question carefully, we talked about the process. X, the opposite is Y, and what follows the process after Y? It was the process that was in question, okay, and not the exact opposites. All right, okay. So what is the answer? Let us quickly have the answer to this question, guys. Repetition of messages of superfluous expression. Okay, this word superfluous, super means extra, fluous, it comes from flow, right? Any sentence which is superfluous, any sentence or any message that is repeated. A is redundancy, B is hyperbole, C is alliteration, and D is allegory. What is the answer? Shradan says D, Ansh says C, Savvy Girl D, Shruti says redundancy. Okay, let us see what the answer is going to be, right? What is redundancy? Redundancy means something which is unnecessary. E, okay, something which is unnecessary, extra, right? Superfluous, that is redundancy. What is hyperbole? It is exaggeration, right? Hyperbole is overstatement, okay, or exaggeration, right? Alliteration means repetition of sounds. Repetition of a sound in the beginning of a word. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Tur, that is alliteration. And what is allegory? Hyperbole is just like we give living expressions to non-living things. Okay, something that is exaggerated, Abhishek, that is, hyperbole, right? But when you talk about, yeah, allegory is something, it is a character or a symbol, that represents an idea. Okay, like the black wolf represents evil, something which is diabolical. Okay, a character or an object, okay, representing, an idea. Okay, representing an idea. These are the meanings. And redundancy is something which is unnecessary. Okay, something which is superfluous, something which is repetition means unnecessary. So A should have been the answer. Hyperbole, alliteration, and allegory are out of the consideration. So we can straight away eliminate B, C, and D. A should have been the answer. So please work on the figure of speech areas also. Okay, please work a lot, because SNAP is notoriously known for asking questions on figures of speech. So please work on this area as well. Okay, let us look at one more question. This is a test of grammar. Choose the grammatically correct option from the following. Okay, let us be very careful when we read all the options, right? Consider your pros and cons, and then let us get home the right answer. Let us bring home the right answer. Okay, can we do this quickly? Yes, Nehu, redundancy is absolutely, it's a part of linguistics, but more often than not, right, some of the questions are asked where figures of speech, redundant is a part of linguistics, of course, right? Figures of speech, it can be included many a times in the figure of speech questions, like we saw in this case. All right, here comes the answers. D, D, D. Abhishek says D. Sumit, D, D. Okay. So what is the first option? The teachers will be able to visit our schools and compare our teaching methods to their own. B says the teachers will be able to pay a visit to our schools and compare teaching methods for their own. C says the teacher will be able to visit our schools and compare our teaching methods with their own. And D says the teachers will be able to visit our school and compare their teaching methods with their own. Can we go from D to A? Let us do it. We will go from D to A. Okay. D says the teacher will be able to visit our school and compare their teaching method with their own, compare their teaching method with their own, and they're visiting our school. Does it make any sense to you? Right? And over here, it should have been a plural, methods. Okay, how can I compare my teaching method with my own teaching method? Then where is the scope of comparison? Do you think D is correct? Right? If this is what the essence of the sentence is, does it make D correct? Right? D, in such a scenario, right? Let us put a question mark over here, because we are going to choose the best option. Right or wrong, that is different. We will choose the best option. C says the teacher will be able to visit our schools and compare our teaching methods. Now, this our schools, and compare our teaching methods with their own. Compare our teaching methods with their own. Okay. B says the teacher will be able to pay a visit to our schools and compare what teaching methods for their own. Look at the structure, right? The word compare takes with. Okay, so this is the preposition that we use, compare X with Y. Okay, A says the teachers will be able to visit our schools and compare our teaching methods to their own. Compare our teaching methods to our own. Look at the anomaly. Okay, look at the anomaly. But C says compare our teaching methods with their own. It uses the right structure, and that is why in this case C should have been the answer. Okay, so compare, Abhishek, that's what I was coming to. Comparing something, comparing X with Y. Okay, This is the right way of actually structuring an idea. Okay, there's a difference between the way we speak and the way we write. So when we write, we have to follow the semantics and the structure. Okay, so compare plus with was the trick over here. So that brings us to C, and this should have been the answer. All right, I hope that answers the question. That is why looking at each and every question carefully becomes very important. Okay, please don't rush. 15 minutes, please use those 15 minutes. 15 minutes, 15 questions, right? Please give yourself 12 minutes to complete those 15 questions and 1 to 2 minutes to browse through. Okay, the first section. Of course, you can navigate, right? You can move from English to LR and QA, right? But 12 minutes, give yourself 12 minutes to see through the first 15 questions and have 1 to 2 minutes buffer to actually revise your work before you jump onto the next segment. All right? Okay. X to Y sounds more mathematical. If you talk about ratio, X is to Y is fine, but the word compare, it is not maths, it is English. So compare, the over here, the word in question was this word compare. So compare with is what we say. Roshan, I hope that answers the question. Okay. Look at this one. In the following sentence, one word or a phrase is used wrongly. Choose the word that must be changed. Choose the word that must be changed or modified or deleted. Either it can be changed or modified or deleted to make the sentence correct. Okay? This is the sentence. Can we read it quickly? What does the sentence tell us? The committee came to a decision to discuss in detail about assorted problems that people have been facing for a long time. The committee came to a decision to discuss in detail about assorted problems that people have been facing for a long time. What should be the answer? Abhishek says C. Siddharth Gopal, okay, C. Understood. All right. What about the others? Okay. So let us attack this question and get the answer. Yes, most of you are right. C is the right option. Why? Because when we use the word discuss, discuss actually means to talk about. And since discuss means talk about, we actually don't use about with discuss. So discuss plus about is the wrong expression. We cannot have about right after discuss. So C should have been the answer. Again, a question on preposition. So we have seen from the past experiences, we have seen from the past setup of questions that we have to follow. We have to practice a few spotting the error questions based on prepositions. Okay. So please practice a few questions based on prepositions. Verb plus preposition combination, noun plus preposition combination, adjective plus preposition combination, and what are the areas where we may go wrong. Iron out those discrepancies and move ahead. In this question, C should have been the answer. A is fine, B is fine, D there is no problem as such. So C should have been the answer. Okay, so this was a fairly simple question to answer, and this question may you should not have taken more than 3 to 4 seconds to answer the question. Okay, save time and move on to the next question. Can we see one more? Here you are. We are talking about collocations or collections. Complete the collocation words. Dash weapon. A combination of words. Collocation is combination. So what is the best combination? Here comes the first answer. Savvy girl says A, nuclear weapon. Okay. The answers are coming in a jiffy. I'm very happy with you guys. Nuclear weapon, atomic weapon, molecular weapon, electronic weapon. We don't say atomic weapon. We have atomic plants. We have atomic structure. We don't say molecular weapon. We don't say electronic weapon. The answer is nuclear weapon, and A should have been the answer. So again, this was, an easy question to negotiate with. All right. So most of you got this one right. It is nuclear weapon. Okay. Can we see one more question? Okay. Now comes the idioms and phrases part. The idiom against the clock means, should it mean break the rules, rushed and short on time, go back to the past, look at the past? What exactly does it mean? Yes, Abhishek, it may go with organisms. You are right. Molecular may go with organisms. Okay, Roshan says B, D, B, against the clock. Against the clock. Break the rules, rushed and short on time, go back to the past, look at the past. The very presence of the word clock gives you a hint. Against the clock means when you are trying to work, when you don't have time, when time is hard pressed, and you are working day in and day out to buy time. So, against the clock actually should mean rushed and short on time when there is not much time left, when you are in a great hurry. When you are in a great hurry. This is the idiom. In a great hurry, to be as fast as possible. Okay, rushed and short on time. This is what it means, against the clock. So there are so many idioms, and please, there are so many sites available on idioms, right? You can also check the BYJU'S exam prep app. We have a separate dedicated section for idioms. Please read idioms. Snap is going to be, there are many questions which are going to be idiom rich, right? I will not be surprised if you face 2 to 3 questions on idioms. All right. But then the questions are going to be very evenly placed. They will not unnecessarily focus on one section and ask many questions, 4 to 5 questions based on one section, right? Out of the so many quadrants that we have seen of grammar and from grammar, and the questions are going to be evenly placed. But with that being said, why to lose a mark just because we don't know one odd idiom? Okay, please work on idioms as much as possible. Okay, in this question, the answer should have been B, rushed and short on time. Look at the past. No, Subhagya, I'm so sorry. This is not what the idiom means. Actually, this is what the meaning is: in a great hurry. And if you match the meaning, right, only B comes close to the meaning against the clock. Rushed and short on time means against the clock. A question on idiom. Can we look at one more? Again, there's an idiom over here. Buy a lemon. What does it mean? Let's answer this question quickly. Ashish, I will come back to this question, right after this question. Let me take you through a few questions, and I'll give you the difference between assonance and alliteration. Just stay with me. Okay. To buy a lemon, what is the idiom? What is the meaning of the idiom? Can we answer the question quickly? To buy a lemon. Now over here, lemon is of significance, right? A says a superstitious way to say good luck. B says a lie which is propaganda for people to believe. C says it should have been an unbelievable story which is told for people to believe. Okay, to purchase a vehicle that constantly gives problems to or stops running after you drive it away. Right? To buy a lemon actually refers to something, to purchase something worthless. The meaning is to buy or purchase something worthless. Okay, to buy or purchase something worthless, especially a tool or a device. In this case, it can be a vehicle. So to buy a lemon should take you straight to D, to purchase a vehicle that constantly gives problems or stops running after you drive it. Okay, this is gone. A lie which is a propaganda. This is not what to buy a lemon means. A superstitious way to say good luck is not what to buy a lemon means. It means to purchase a vehicle that constantly gives problems. Okay? Talking about alliteration. Talking about alliteration. There was a question asked on alliteration. Okay? The repetition of the same sound, t, 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 b, 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 right? Baba, black sheep. So that is alliteration. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. That's an alliteration. All right. It is again a figure of speech over here. Let us hit the next question. What is the synonym for the word inclement? What is the synonym for the word inclement? The options are A, stormy, B, intimate, C, advocacy, and D, immediate. What is the synonym for the word inclement? Anybody? Yes, Abhishek, you're right. It is equal to a white elephant. Absolutely right. Okay, here comes the answers. A, B, D, A, D, B. Okay, quite a few. We have a mixed bag of responses over here. Now the word inclement, if you look at the prefix in, right, it means not. Okay. Clement may come from clemency, which means mercy. Okay. Not showing mercy at all. Inclement. So the synonym of inclement can be something which is bad. Okay. Something which is unpleasant. Right. Cold, damp, right? All are inclement. So it is a negative word, right? The connotation is negative. So that is why it takes us to the very first option, stormy, right? Inclement may mean stormy. Intimate means close, an intimate friendship. Advocacy, to help, to support, to come in support of anyone. Okay, to advocate the cause, to speak in favor of, that is advocacy. Immediate means instantly. The only word that comes close to inclement over here is A, and the answer is stormy. Alright, so that was the answer to this question. One question on synonym. Can we look at one more question? The antonym for the word taciturn. This is an antonym question and we need an antonym for this word. Taciturn. What is the answer? The opposite of taciturn. Sumit, is the first one to answer. Jogi says B, Jogi Chitra, A, garrulous. Rajan says garrulous, A. Okay, fine. So, taciturn, what are the options? Garrulous, energetic, ephemeral, enigmatic, right? Garrulous means talkative, one who loves to talk, one who talks a lot. Garrulous is talkative, energetic, full on energy, highly energetic. Ephemeral means fleeting, okay, or something which is temporary. Enigmatic comes from the word enigma or mysterious. Taciturn, someone who speaks less. Someone who speaks less. Kalpesh, okay, Kalpesh answers the question. A, all right. Someone who talks less. Someone who is untalkative. Okay, taciturn. So the opposite would be one who talks so much. Answer is A. Garrulous is the answer. Most of you got this one right. Shubhankar is asking a question over here. So there are so many vocab words to how to ensure which vocab types or form where we should read. If this were the case, if we could just figure out what kind of word are going to be there, what kind of word can we expect in SNAP or any other exam, we could do tremendously well in all the exams. Okay, so you have to broaden your horizon, Shubhankar. My mantra to you would be to broaden your horizon, read as much as possible, right? If you want to have a grasp on, quite a number of words, if you want to master vocabulary, the only way to do that is to read and read extensively. Okay, if you ask me the question, what kind of book should we read, my answer would be read anything and everything under the sun. But today we are going to stick to the SNAP preparation, right? We are just a few days away. So solve a few vocab questions, antonym, synonym questions, fill in the blanks questions. Please take mocks, as many mocks as possible, and solve a few vocab questions. But in the longer run, read extensively to work on your vocabulary. That is the only panacea to have a good vocab. Okay? Can we look at the next question? From the following words, pick the odd one out. Okay, odd one out question. What should be the answer? Pick the odd one out. Euphemism, maxim, aphorism, dictum. Okay, most of you have answered this question. A. Okay, euphemism, maxim, aphorism, dictum. Now, all those who have answered that A should have been the answer, why do you think A is the answer? Why not C? Why not B? Why not D? Can we have a small chit chat over here? A little chit chat, right? Just for a change. I have been talking, now you talk to me. All right, Chetan says A. Now, the word euphemism, what is this? It is an indirect way of saying that, something is bad. Something is bad. Okay, being polite, right? To underplay something. To underplay something, indirect way of saying that something is bad. Maxim and aphorism, these two means proverb, okay, or a saying, okay, a saying or a proverb. Dictum is a proposition, okay, or an idiom. Proposition or an opinion, I'm sorry. Now you have the meanings in front of you, okay? An order, a proposition, an opinion. It can also mean an order, right? Euphemism means in indirect way of saying something. Maxim and aphorism means proverb and saying, and dictum means proposition, opinion, and order. What do you think now? It should be the answer, right? Don't you think dictum is slightly out of the box? Euphemism means to say something indirectly. Saying, maxim and aphorism also means proverb and saying. Dictum is largely different from A, B, and C. Proposition, opinion, and order. What should be the option now according to you? Right? What should be the option according to you? Now that you know the meaning, can we go with D, dictum and order? Because A, B, and C, they mean saying in some way or the other. To say something in some way or the other. Only one word that is out of the clutter, which is dictum, because it has a different meaning altogether. We talk about proposition, we talk about opinion, we talk about order. So in this case, dictum is the odd one out. The rest are more or less can be served on the same platter. All right. So this was a question on odd one out. Now let's hit a parajumble question. A parajumble question. Let us look at this question and please read this question very carefully. Okay. It has been observed that most of us, we waste too much time in getting the parajumble questions right. Okay. But if you get the orders properly, you will get these answers right in no time. Okay, in this question, sentence 1 and sentence 6 is given, as is the case with the snap questions. You please unscramble PQRS. Let us see what is the right option. Get going with it. Please remember that we have to answer the questions in less than a minute. Right? Keeping that in mind, we must prepare. Okay, option A, option B, option C, option D. Let us read the question quickly, my friends. Sentence 1, what does it tell us? Metals are today being replaced by polymers in many applications. P, above all, they are cheaper and easier to process, making them a viable alternative to metals. Q says polymers are essentially a long chains of hydrocarbons molecules. R, today polymers are strong as metals have been developed. S says these have replaced the traditional chromium plated metallic bumpers in cars. And S6, many Indian institutes of science and technology run special programs on polymer science. What is the proper sequence? Okay, A, C, C, A. Okay, Roshan, A, Shubhankar, C, the Savi girl, A. Okay, fine. S1 talks about metals. We introduce metals. Metals are today being replaced by polymers in many applications. So we see that S1 talks about how metals are used today, right? And how they have been replaced by polymers. How they have been replaced by polymers. Metals are today being replaced by polymers in many applications. We get to know about polymers in S1. Polymers are introduced. Now look at Q. Polymers are essentially long chains of hydrocarbon molecules. Q gives us the meaning of what polymers are. It defines polymers. Okay. So S1 and Q is a mandatory pair. So A stands, R is out of question, B is out of question, C is out of question. So it's going to be either A or D. QR, QR. Can we stick with QR? If QR is the combination in A and D, so we will also stick with QR. Today, polymers as strong as metals have been developed. So QR again is a mandatory pair. So can we have R over here? R talks about how polymers are used today, right? They have been developed. Now comes the selection. Should it be SP or PS? Look at S. These have replaced the traditional chromium plated metallic bumpers in car, and P talks about above all they are cheaper, right? Don't you think that S and P is a better choice? S and P. S talks about these means polymers. They have replaced what? They have replaced the traditional chromium plated metallic bumpers in cars, and above all, and most importantly, they are cheaper. And 6 should end the sequence, and that takes us to A. QRSP is the choice. D is out of question. Okay. Shadan, confused होना हमारे हाथ में ही है. We are bound to get confused. We are students, we are learners. But then being confused for a long time is not going to help us, and this confusion can be solved when we solve a few more questions. Take mocks, right? Take mocks. Confusion कहाँ पे होता है, right? Whether it is PS or SP, whether it is QR or RP, right? Go by the options, right? Options are there to help you understand the parajumble questions and have a better perspective, right? This was an easy question, right? And that is why go by the combo, right? Go by the mandatory pair concept. What is the mandatory pair? ऐसा ही होगा, right? Something which can be predicted, and this happens when your reading is of essence, when you have a fair improvement, when you show fair improvement in your reading and connecting the dots, right? And that happens when you analyze the questions properly. All right, so we were talking about a 99 percentile club. Roshan, I hope now why A should be the answer. C sounds good to you. Let us look at C. RQSP, right? See, when S1 talks about polymers, right, we should actually look for a sentence that actually tells us what polymers are and not how polymers are used, right? If you look at this combination and this sense of reasoning, then Q must follow 1. All right? Okay. So, an attempt of 55 questions at least out of 60, get at least 50 correct with 99% accuracy, and that will take you to this, the 99 percentile club. This is my prediction. Let us see what Snap has in store for you, and you have to work on the 15 questions, 15 important questions in the general English section, right? You get those questions right and your percentile will be through the roof. I'm telling you that. Okay. When are we having the classes? Just keep a check on the schedule, Shadan, and you will get to know when are we having the classes. Okay. The schedule will be shared with you absolutely, in no time. Sumit says such questions sometimes becomes the trap, and that is the beauty of competitive exams, Sumit, right? Traps are there for us, and it is our smartness that will decide whether we fall in those traps or we jump over them. And jumping over them calls for the right selection of the question and how prepared we are, right? How ready we are, right? That will help us understand, that will help us negotiate with the traps in a better way. All right. So please join our live analysis of the first SNAP 2021, and we will have the detailed exam analysis, the questions and the discussions. It will be taken up 19 December. Please note it down somewhere. Join us again 19 December at 5 p.m. for the detailed SNAP analysis. Also, all those who are taking CAT, we are also going to bring you a series of last lap to ZAT questions, 9 important sessions, highly probable questions that you might witness in CAT. We will discuss those questions with you, with our experts. Our experts will discuss the questions, and that will help you increase your marks by at least 20-25 points in each section, right? And it is going to be live at 7 p.m. daily. Please don't forget to download the BYJU'S app so that you stay connected with us. Okay. And also, we are going to start our CAT, PI and WAT program with our stalwarts, Gautam sir and Srinivas sir. Please don't forget to come for the CAT, PI and WAT program with these great people. Enroll with us today so that you don't miss the bus, because GDPI is of essence. You can't afford to miss them. Okay, importantly, who are actually, this is specifically for those who are actually eyeing or who have come to know from the response sheet that they are going to clock 99 plus percentile in CAP. All right, so this is how we are placed. We have started off with our CAT 22 session. In fact, we have rolled out our batch number 5, right? Please don't forget to join us and get your enrollment done as soon as possible. Okay, so the team comprises Vikas sir, Pranab sir, Gautam sir, you know all of them, Saral sir, Nikita ma'am, awesome faculty for VARC, Srinivas sir, Tanojam sir, Gaurav sir, and of course myself. We are there to help you out. And this is the faculty bench strength. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Please subscribe our channel so that you get posted with the latest. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, subscribe our channel, get into your Telegram group, download the app from Google Pay and follow us on Facebook, right? Follow kariye and please let your friends know that we are there to help them out. With that being said, that brings us to the end of today's session. Thank you for joining and have a good day ahead. All the very best for Snap. Goodbye and stay blessed.